joining into my channel. This is Lisa, Kinda Karnivore. We're talking about CARBAGE and how that affects you and the different symptoms of how it affects you. So the symptoms that affect you are if you're having weight gain, if your weight is stalling, if you are overeating, like you just can't help overeating, or if you're having health issues that are not resolved, they're not where you think they should be, then you might have a result of CARBAGE. So there's keto CARBAGE. We're going to be talking about that tonight. And I'm going to talk about some carnivore things with you too. You can also have joint pain. If you have different ailments going on in your health that are digestive ailments, if you have ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, or UC, you might still have some problems there. If you're having allergies or if you're having rashes or joint pain, like I mentioned, that could be from CARBAGE, you guys, CARBAGE. There's 3 areas where you might be getting some CARBAGE. The 3 areas are carb replacement foods. So if you're just going keto carnivore and you're learning, you might notice in the grocery store keto approved foods, keto bread, some keto brownie, keto pancakes. You guys, carb replacement foods, you still have to be careful. Some of the boxed foods have fiber added to them because they want to trigger they want to get your attention by putting on the front of the box that it has net carbs of maybe 3. But if you turn it around and look at it, it has maybe 20 carbs, 20 total carbs. So you guys, we want to be counting total carbs. When you count total carbs, you're counting the whole thing. It's including sugar, alcohols, and fiber. And a lot of time they subtract that out. But you guys, it still matters. It still matters. You can't just eat tons of that and then do the net carb and think that everything's going to be okay. So it still matters. If you're doing carb replacement foods from a grocery store, store-bought ones, you just want to make sure that you look at the back of the package to make sure that it's the total carbs that you want and the ingredients that you want. Like for me, I don't do erythritol, so I would be looking at that. And they add extra fiber in there, which we don't need. And that will be a whole nother video that I'll do so that they can try to bring down the net carb count. Count total carbs, and then you will not have to worry about that. So carb replacement foods, when I did my keto carnivore, and you guys, Thanksgiving's coming up, so we are actually making things that are not carbs because we want to have, our things to enjoy also, and that's fine. When I was keto 8 years ago, I did that too. But what really saved me is I really, really tracked everything all of the time. You guys, I tracked for 2 or 3 years. Now, you guys don't have to do that if you don't want to. I did that. That's my personality. But I am sharing this with you so I can give you some tips on how you want to approach that. But know what you're eating, know how many carbs are in that box, know the ingredients that are in that box. So most likely, if you're getting some kind of a treat, it might be made with some almond flour or coconut flour or something like that. Now, when I was keto, I would have a few nuts. I would have some macadamia nuts, but it is so different when you are taking packages of carbs to packages of nuts to ground them down to make a flour. So if you're doing that, then you are getting much more. It's still carbs, even though it's ground almond flour. It's still carbs, but they're just subtracting the fiber. But it can still hurt you in the end if you're having some of the symptoms that I talked about. And the other thing, you guys, is number 2 is keto treats. Number 2 is keto treats. So I have 3 areas for you that we're going to talk about. With keto treats, let's say that you're like, you know what, I'm going to make my own things because I know if I get those box foods, they're going to have things in it that I don't want. And you go online and you find a good keto recipe. It's okay to take the keto recipe and tweak it. You can tweak that recipe, and then you can make sure it doesn't have ingredients that you want. For example, I would always tweak the erythritol or allulose, all those powdery things. They trigger me to want to eat more more carbs. So I would always tweak those things. But if you see a recipe that you want, you can tweak it. Look at the recipe, look at the ingredients that it's called for, and you can tweak it. The only thing that you want to remember is if you are tweaking it and it's calling for like a half cup of, sweetener, powdery sweetener, normally erythritol based, and you are using some monk fruit drops like I do, or some stevia drops, because there's nothing in it, it's the pure extract, you want to make sure that you fill it with another powdery substance. Normally I'll use like a gelatin or something like that to just thicken it up, because you're taking out some of the powdery substance. But you want to look for on the online recipes, if there's ingredients or if there's too much almond flour, you can tweak those things. You can maybe cut it and then do half pork rind flour also. And the sugar alcohol, can tweak that too. So in your keto treats, even online, make sure that your keto treats are based with, for example, if you have an almond flour and it's calling for 2 cups of almond flour, you can cut that and you can do half maybe pork rinds if you want to get the carb count down a little bit. You can tweak your recipes so that's not so many sugar alcohols in there. Number 3, you guys, number 3 to CARBAGE is carnivore goodies. There's carnivore CARBAGE too, you guys. So carnivore goodies. If you have goodies that are carnivore, that's great because you're avoiding carbs altogether. You're using animal products, but some of the animal products are really rich. We've got cream cheese, we've got heavy whipping cream, we've got regular cheeses. Some of them are really rich, and they could be addictive. They could cause you to overeat. They could cause you to stall because you're getting so much fat. So like fat bombs, if you're stalling on your weight loss, you want to kind of watch those fat bombs. You want to kind of back off on the cheese, make sure you're using it as a condiment. And even if you're doing zero carb condiments like I do, if they're causing you, because we're all different, giving you a trigger, like you want more, like for example, for me, I can use some monk fruit drops in my coffee and it doesn't trigger me to want other sweets and eat sweets all day long, and just, it doesn't trigger me that way. However, and some people, it does trigger that way. They cannot do any sweetener at all. I can do those, but if I do any of those powdery ones with the erythritol, then I get triggered. And I get also triggered by artificial sweetener. So like the Splenda and the artificial ones, I'm triggered by it. So I can't even chew gum, because it has it makes me just want more. So we all have different triggers. Pay attention to your triggers, and then you'll know, what works best for you, even when you're making those carnivore goodies. So those are the things to watch out for. The 3 things that you need to watch out for: carb replacement foods, keto treats, and your carnivore goodies. If these are items that are making you overeat, it's stalling your weight, it's making you gain weight, or if you're having cravings, just pay attention to that, and you can back off on those items. And also with your health, if you're getting reactions, like immediately, if my body doesn't like something, I get a stuffy nose and I have allergies. Where maybe my husband, he might get a stomach upset, or maybe someone else might get a rash. Everyone has different symptoms, but just pay attention to your body, and then you can pull back on some of those. And then the bonus tip that I have for you you is I'm going to be doing a video within the next couple of weeks, and it'll be there for when you need it. I don't know if you're going to start it after the holidays, but using carnivore as a carb elimination diet would be really great because you're just starting with a clean slate, and then you can add things back one at a time. And then you can see if it gives you a trigger or a symptom. Your body will tell you right away. So that'll be something that you can look for that's coming, is the carb elimination diet. So you guys, I do have time for question and answers. I'm going to go back and fix the front part of the video so it starts where my sound was great. And I'm sorry for that. Thanks for being patient with me. And thanks, Denise, for telling me. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments and I can answer them for you about CARBAGE or anything that you have. And if you're just tuning in, this is Lisa, Kinda Karnivore. We're talking about CARBAGE tonight because we're getting ready for all these holidays and stuff, and we want to be prepared. And this is a great time to subscribe, like the video, and share it with someone that needs it. On this channel, we focus on, we don't focus on the food, but we address the food so that we can do a ketogenic lifestyle to conquer our carb addiction. So that is our goal. And I will go back and look at the questions and answer them if you're looking at this on the replay. And until then, I'll see you in the next video. I'll be live on Monday. So I'll see you in the next video. You guys have a good night.